blessings fall like the rain, the streams of your compassion.
That's right, brothers and sisters. The Most High's gathering Israel. I'm Elder Ricard Shiar of the Gathering of Christ Church here with a special broadcast this evening coming in from Las Vegas. As you can see, it's a little late night thing, but we're going to hit it and quit it. And, but there's so much we must uncover, brothers and sisters. Doesn't it seem like there's an event or something going on almost daily? Every day there's a new international or national catastrophic scenario, just like Second Baruch said these times would be, where the majority of the world would not consider that we are actually living in the end of days, in the consummation. First and foremost, before I go into this, how long will they disrespect the black man, Judah? Well, before I go into this, let me first say all praises be to the Most High Ahaya, the Most High God of the Hebrews, who revealed his name to Moses before deliverance. And I don't believe it's no coincidence that at the very end, right before the deliverance of Israel from the four corners of the earth, that the Most High have given his name back to the earth. And folks, the Gentiles and the gods they worship are panicking. I thank Christ for the sacrifice. Through him, the Holy Spirit came through to awaken us in these last days. And he found us just like the prophecy said he would. Who are we? We're the children of Israel, and we're back. Hit the like button. Of course, we have Elder Lawyer on standby. But we have some special guests in the house. I think I can pull it up right now. Elder Ariah and his beloved brother, Deacon Malak. Come on. Say it.
Shalom. Peace and blessings. Hope you all out there staying blessed, no stress, and as always, getting your mind right.
Lion and Judah is in the house. Boy, do we have a good broadcast. We're not going to be long at all, but I tell you what, it's going to be quite interesting. I'll tell you that. Yes, we have Texas leadership in the house. Blessings throughout the four corners of the earth. That's right. We have them in the house. I'm Elder Ricard Shaw. Of course, we have right here on the side here.
Yes, sir. Shalom. Shalom to the family out there.
You see how media is doing this? They're slowly, through predictive programming, seeking to phase the strong black intellectual, spiritual leader out of all public content. You notice they can't show a black man. All right, we good now. Now, the broadcast tonight. Aren't you tired of the tribe of Judah, the black man, getting disrespected? For those who didn't hear what I was saying in my initial monologue, right? No one can sleep on the power of predictive programming. What is predictive programming, pray tell? Well, brothers and sisters, predictive programming is what they're using through the media to phase the black man out. And it's strategic. And to some degree, for the ignorant, it has worked. Predictive programming is the incremental programming that allowed the world to accept the gay life as just an alternative lifestyle. To a point where usually women, it doesn't matter your ethnicity, they feel left out unless they have a gay friend, or especially a woman, a gay male accessory. That's the power of media. Something that was taboo, something that was standoffish or deemed immoral by those who typically believe in God. For those who typically believe in God, now what was deemed immoral or standoffish has now been accepted. Why? Because we were programmed to accept it. Even till this day. Even till this day. Now, I have no problem with someone making a choice to be with whomever they would like to be with. Right? They said the sound is muffled?
Yes, and the mic is low and it's kind of muffled.
Okay. I got something better. One moment. Okay.
Sound good.
I'm going to use this right here. Okay. I'm going to allow a technical person to come in and eventually fix this. But I'm going to use the microphone. Okay. I'm going to use the microphone directly from my new setup for the computer for the sake of time. All right. One moment. One moment.
They say all clear, perfect.
All right. It's good now? All right. Okay, I'm going to use this microphone right here. Now, what we're going to discuss tonight is in using politics and the situation that's going on in the earth today to have our people vote. Okay? Now they're going to push Kamala. And we'll accept it. Why? Because we're used to getting disrespected. How long, the Bible claims, will you simple ones, will you love simplicity? Now, out of nowhere, the same way they have gotten us to accept the alternative lifestyle, which is typically against our moral standings as a people. I'm talking about black people here. Okay, it was the belief in Christ and the Bible that have gotten us through chattel slavery, Jim Crow, and every level of racism that you could imagine. What's that noise there? Okay. Okay. Make sure the window's closed there. So typically, they programmed us to accept the gay life. They have programmed us to accept not just the gay life, but now, not that I have anything against Asians, have never coexisted in the inner city together. Okay? And now through the predictive programming, we can't see any, I would say, production on television about our people unless gays and Asians are hired as actors within the production. Right? So let's talk about this. Hit the like button. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Blessings. Now, before I go into it, why am I going into this? I'm going into this, folks, because like last week, I was mentioning last week how our sisters are in danger. And folks, all of this programming of actually Xing the black man out of anything is really the culprit behind indirectly destroying our sisters. Listen to what I'm telling you. If you eradicate or get rid of the man who was born to protect the daughters of Zion, all of a sudden you'll begin to hear all over the place, mainstream media and social media, that the black woman out of all women are the least protected, indirectly trying to cast blame on the black man, not realizing that the programming has phased the black man out of existence. So now we'll hear about more crimes being done towards black women. Like the sister I told y'all a couple of days, watch out for the cop, black woman or black man killing, dying, being published all over the news so that they can now use racial divide running into the election. But why are women so exposed to the point where a white cop and others can, especially our sisters, can actually harm them? It first starts with what? It first starts with them meticulously planning on disrespecting, undermining, dividing the black family, and then Xing the black man all out altogether. Social warfare, political warfare, media warfare. You know why? Even the Israeli consulates said it. The woman in Israel. It's the black youth that's a threat to the future of their existence. Why? Why do they feel that? Because they know that it was prophesied that Judah, the black man, would awaken the earth. And it's a sign of the end. Hit the like button. Now, before I go in, unfortunately, brothers and sisters, I believe our people, unfortunately, I believe our sisters are going to fall. Everything good? Oh, yeah. Are going to fall for it again. All right? Now, I have a few videos I would like to play real quick. Fair use for educational purposes only. And I'm going to show you how they meticulously, indirectly destroy our women. Keep in mind, if they are allowed to destroy the man who brings forth the seed, they could care less about our women. See? Because if they destroy us, the nation ceased to exist. Hence the reason they are promoting the black woman. Not to actually help the black woman. Think about that. You would think with the black woman in America being the what? The backbone of the Democratic Party, that they would be the highest demographic above gay white women, above gay black, gay white women, and gay black and gay white men who benefit from the liberal policies. So why is the black women making more than gay white women who are lesbians and gay white men if they're the backbone of the Democratic Party? Why our sisters are doing worse than any demographic in the United States financially? I need y'all to think about that. How can the backbone of anything get less than everyone? They're triggered emotionally. They're easily controlled. You know why? Because they were supposed to lean on their men to understand the political and social landscape, but the world powers has successfully divided us. And this is out there for the sisters. They'll try to flatter you. They'll try to tell you how important you are, but look at your status. This is where they want you, to destroy you. So don't deal with the flattery you're going to hear all the way up into election. And then after the election, the black women will be forgotten altogether while the replacements stomp what's left of our women and our family out. Right? Let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about it. I hope you all can hear us real quick. Right? Deception. The Bible tells you that the proud, the evil, the wicked do not sleep unless they have actually done some evil against our people. Unless they can't sleep at night unless they realize that they have caused some harm to the tribe of Israel. Right? What's going on here? I got celebration things popping out. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, let's talk about it. Let's start here. The deception. The deception. See, the powers that be, Elder Lawyer, calls her Kamala. That's eerily close to a word or a creature, I would say, like a chameleon. See, a chameleon is able to adapt for the sake of survival. Right? We had a song coming up. We were growing up and I didn't understand what the song meant until later. With Boy George, chameleon. What I didn't know is that they were actually seeding through media the acceptance of transgenderism, where the others would assimilate themselves, being man or woman, disguised only to harm. Kamala sounds eerily familiar to who? To a chameleon. And if our sisters fall for this, I don't know if there'll be anything to help. I don't know what can help them if they fall for this playbook that they roll out every 4 years that cause serious divide and pushes our sisters further to the bottom. I'm going to show you how they work. Right? California's Kamala Harris, and this is an Associated Press piece from November 9th, 2016. All right? 8 years ago. Let's see what she was 8 years ago. California's Kamala Harris becomes first Indian American U.S. Senator. Now I need someone to tell me, where was the first black vice president, or was made to be the first black vice president in 2016? How can you conveniently go from an Indian immigrant? And folks, Elder Oriah brought this out. I don't think it's any coincidence that at the very end of time, they would push a woman whose ethnicity is Babylonian. Did y'all know that, folks? Did y'all know that the East Indians, the family she came from and all of that, would be considered in ancient times a Cushite, a Babylonian? So, of course, you would get the daughter of Babylon and push her in position within the country, which is the daughter of Babylon. California Kamala Harris becomes first Indian American U.S. senator. And while she was there, she arrested over 1,500 black men, in particular, when you go into the percentages, for marijuana. In California. Didn't even try to push the death penalty on your sons, on your family, on your brothers. These are your nephews, your sons, your brothers. And they fast-tracked this woman because she was so successful destroying and disrespecting your family, the tribe of Judah. She didn't, guess what? She didn't respect us enough to actually try to mask herself as an African-American woman in 2016. She made her bones as the first Indian American U.S. senator. And unless you've been to India or been overseas, you don't understand how the caste system works. They're racist against their own people who are darker. So what do you think they think about you? Not just her. 2021, Kamala Chameleon becomes first female, first black, and first Asian American VP. See how this works? Now, see, that's another deception. They put Jamaican on her name or on her history to make us believe that her father was black Jamaican. That's another lie. Jamaica is filled with East Indians. Her father, who is Jamaican, is white, part and part East Indian, and became a Jamaican citizen. Huh? Her husband, you have to do the research politically about her husband. This is the guy who indirectly through her will attack all of us. Now, sister, do y'all got a problem with a woman who's cosplaying as you, who's married to a white man in a high position that will influence your future politically? If you believe in politics? And some people say, well, I don't care. Well, guess what? It seems like when it's Candace Owens, when I began to talk about some of the positive things when it comes to that intellectual sister who's given them that work, it seems that the first thing people try to pull out is, Elder, you know she has a white husband. So is there a double standard? And I'll tell you this, Candace Owens is more qualified to be a vice president than she is. Right? Now there's more I wanted to show you here. I'm going to show it to y'all in a minute. 1 second. I want y'all to check this out, because I'm going to bring some receipts for you here. I had it right here. Let me see if I still have it. Uh-huh. Yeah. They go to Jamaican Father y'all talking about. Huh? Yeah, Jamaican, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna show you Jamaican right now. There you go, right there. Huh? Jafaican. That's what that's the word, Jafaican. Jafaican. There you go, brothers and sisters. Kamala is the one right here in the middle. All right. Right there. And get the tamarines and the finger tamarines out. That's what's going on here. Jafaican. 100% East Indian. Don't believe in, and this is my problem. They have a problem with the God of the Hebrews. They have a problem with the Bible. And because they have a problem with the Bible and the God of the Bible, sisters, they have a problem with you. So what better way to get some people in political office to cosplay as us, to affect our people at a time of the awakening, to have this woman in place to arrest your children and to separate your families. Huh? Now, why did I title this, How Long Will the Black Man or Judah Be Disrespected? As long as, let me tell you, as long as they keep us divided and disrespect your protector, the black woman will continually be unprotected. Hence the reason I'm dovetailing off of last Wednesday's broadcast about submission. If they separate us and there's no submission, there'll be no protection. And this is what the powers that shouldn't be wants. So I got something for you, Elder Lawyer. I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm going to play this real quick because there are a lot of sisters waking up. There's a lot of sisters waking up. Now, I don't know whether or not this is true, but these some serious coincidences here. A brother sent me this about us. Now, I'm glad sisters are waking up. Because there's a similarity between what happened during an election season with Sandra Bland and the new woman who they claim the cop shot her while she was boiling water. You notice, I did not tell y'all the other day? Didn't I tell you the other day that look out for a racial divide through a cop killing somebody? And what I tell brothers and sisters is, don't be moved with it. It's politics. As far as I'm concerned, if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. That's how I take it. It's politics. Because listen, I'm not saying it could have happened. I don't know. I didn't see it. But I do know this. If Sandra Bland was killed by cops and a new sister was killed by cops, then I say that they need to hurry up and give our sisters the backbone of the Democrat Party. They need to hurry up and give reparations so that these sisters and their families and their sons and all of that can have the financial fortitude to protect themselves from cops. See? They're going to fix. The more harm that's being done, show forth how much money should be given to these same people. See? So, but it's not about that. It's about what? Triggering our people emotionally right before an election. See, that's all it's about. And then somehow taking that cop, I'm going to tell you how it's going to go because you know their script. You're going to find out in probably tomorrow or the day after. And keep in mind, folks, I'm not in none of their little circles or anything like that to know what's going on. I know how their script works. It'll take before this week out, CNN is going to tell you that this police officer was a Trump supporter. Like clockwork. Watch what I tell you. But going back to this, I need y'all to hear this real quick, brothers and sisters. This sister's on Twitter said, there's something, it's starting to think like some of these things that they're putting out every year, dividing us racially between police and these shootings are ritualistic.
I see dead people. Hey, rap nigga, he a free throw man down.
Oh.
Tell him please, bro.
Now I'm going to pause it. Now this is coincidental, but I thought that I should show this. She says I'm starting to think these things are ritualistic. Right? Let me real quick. Let me blow this up so you all can see it. Control plus. Let me blow it up so you can see it a little bit. All right? It says right here. Right? I need y'all to look at this. Sandra Annette Bland, 37, born 1987, February 1987, and she was shot by a cop. Right? Check out the resemblance. Sonia, the new girl that was boiling water, age 36. Look at the similarities here. Right? Could be a coincidence. Right? They say we all look alike, right? Check this out. Right?
I see that.
Look at this. Sandra Bland, born July 2000. She got killed July 13th, 2025. In July. So it seems like every election cycle, a sister get killed by a cop, or the media states that they got killed by a cop in July, to start fermenting those racial divides leading up into the fall for the election. Right? Check it out. I need y'all to see it right. Right? She say, I'll see dead people. Now, this just happened with a cop the other day on July 6th. With the police killing a black woman. Right on time for the media to get into this black women victim, cops killing black women, the backbone of the Democrat Party, and all of that. Right? And why did I name this? How long will they disrespect the black man? Because she come from the seed of the black man. That's number one. Number two, they feel no need to give us any level of what? Front existence, media and otherwise, to protect our families. They are intentionally, even though we all exist, phasing the strong black man out and putting up the weak black woman to be destroyed as a strong, independent woman. And as long as we're disrespected, we're going to start hearing about more of this. But they're doing it to emotionally trigger our sisters into voting for their own demise and getting their families to follow them to their graves by voting for Demonuts. Right? There's more. Right? Ignore the music.
Okay, so to sum it all up, they look like twins. One was 37, one was 36. Both born in Illinois, both unalived in Texas, both born in February, and both died in July. Hold on.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad sisters are beginning to understand that they've been played. Now, we're going to talk about resolve in a moment. Solution in a moment, but I need to put some of these things out here. Right? Because they get these Boule demonites, demonesses, to push our sisters further to the bottom. Right? And I'm going to get these Jezebels in a moment. I'm going to talk about these satanic Boule Jezebels, who all of these women here predominantly are in well-to-do areas. When you look at their background, they also are immigrants undermining the black woman who's being destroyed here, leading our sisters to the grave. Boule, demonesses. They go on, and now they're talking about the momentum of Kamala Harris. And guess what? While our sisters are suffering, getting put out, separated, no one to take care of them, they're trying to emotionally trigger our sisters into voting for the same party that have always destroyed them. And it comes a time where sisters have to stand up and say, listen, we're tired of the flattery. We're behind our men. Don't come to us until you've come to our men first. Right? You good?
Yeah.
Don't come to our men until you've come. Don't come to us as a voting bloc until you stop disrespecting our men and go to them first. You're disrespecting us by putting us out in front when you don't do that to any other race of people. The white woman is behind her white man. The Asian woman is behind her Asian man. The East Indian woman is behind her East Indian man. And it's disrespect that you try to come directly to us outside of the man who brought us forth through their seed. You can't have part of us. That's how sisters need to stand. Listen, the sisters are the least protected. Why? Because they have deceived our women into believing that they didn't need protection. And now these demon nuts with hair, Boule, is rolling out the same demonic spells again to have our sisters believe that they're the end to end all, and they got it going on, only for our sisters to be forgotten about right after the election. I'm gonna go there in a moment. But let's hear what your boy is talking about. Listen to this joke here.
Her record is abysmal at best. First, it's the DEI hire part first, and then it's the record. But they can't help themselves but going at the race part of this.
Let me just say something here.
Please do.
This is going to work out badly because they worked very hard to attract black men into the Republican Party. They worked very hard to attract Latin men into the Republican Party.
Okay, the Republicans said outright that Kamala is 6 from a dozen. Okay, in a nutshell. That the elevator doesn't go all the way up. That's what the Republicans said. Right? That she'll be nothing more than a doormat, as it was when it was Biden with cognitive issues. Right? So now they pull out this guy. Now pulling him out is straight disrespect, because this guy doesn't represent anything I've known of a strong black man growing up. Now I'm going to show you the guy they'll have in front representing black men. Now my father would have told him, boy, if you don't get upstairs, I'll give you something to cry about. That's my father's favorite line. You want something to cry about? Now, this is the black man. Now, the gay white man is a stoic, strong one. And I'm going to show you the black man they roll out for you.
Van, what are your thoughts? It's well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Tell them the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have...
So first of all, this guy can't say anything. This guy cannot say anything in representations of a black man who will sit there and cry in front of a gay white man who's so-called married to another white guy. So look at our representation, folks. And folks, that's intentional. So let's hear what he got to say now. And then he got about 50 million from Jeff Bezos after the election. So check him out now. Then I'm going to bring y'all in 1 second, all right?
Yes, sir.
Because they worked very hard to attract black men into the Republican Party. They worked very hard to attract Latin men into Republican.
They didn't work to attract black men to the Republican Party. Black men woke up a long time ago and realized that we were being deceived by all of you. That you were aligning policies to undermine the tribe of Judah, the black man. Secretly seeking, using gays and women and other people to silence the truth tellers. Black men are the only ones on earth that are willing, outside of a guy by the name of Alex Jones, to stand up and say something controversial that shakes the norm. So no, it ain't about no Republican. Black men been silently operating against the liberal policies for about a decade now. We understand that you've purchased, you've brought the churches. That's why we've walked away from those. It's only another wing of the Demonut party. Your sick, sadistic Christian churches. So don't try to say black people are going to Republic because we're conservative. The Bible is conservative. Now look how stoic and strong the sister is on the side of him. Who's the strong one here? And look at this guy.
Party, and they were getting a little bit of momentum there.
There are a lot of black men who are saying, no, the Democrats don't do anything for us, and Biden's weak. And
yes, they never did anything for us. If so, why can't they state what they've actually done for us? You notice they always state that they understand our concerns, but never state in particular what they've ever done for us.
First, it's the DEI hire part first, and then it's the record. But they can't help themselves but going at the race part of this.
let me just say something here.
Please do.
This is going to work out badly because they worked very hard to attract black men into the Republican Party.
Now, you notice they got her sitting at the head of the table as if she's running things? Y'all notice this? Folks, when it comes to media, optics means everything. She's running absolutely nothing. Okay? But that's the image they want to portray going forward. Every person at this table outside of him has more power than she does. Every last person, that white woman right there, if she got out of pocket with that white woman, she'd be gone. The Jewish man over there, now the only people she can actually check are these two weak black dudes right here. Okay? These two right here is the only two people she can check. Let's make that clear.
And I think a lot of voters know this is the case with him.
Get out of here.
Over the past 5-6 weeks or longer, they've been building a real solid book, what we call a book, a research book on Harris. Dumb as a Rock is not page 1 of that. It's not even page 45, and it's probably a longer book.
Okay,
attract black men into the Republican Party. They worked very hard to attract Latin men into the Republican Party, and they were getting a little bit of momentum there. There are a lot of black men who are saying, no, the Democrats don't do anything for us, and Biden's weak, and they're starting to look over there at the Republican Party. You start insulting black women, you're going to see something you haven't seen before.
But they're not insulting black women. Kamala, it says, according to Associated Press Politics, becomes the first Indian American U.S. Senator. Kamala is a Babylonian. She's an East Indian. She isn't a black woman. Huh? So you got to watch their words, folks.
They're starting to look over there at the Republican Party. You start insulting black women.
They said that she's dumb as they said that she's dumb as the Republicans say Kamala's dumb as a bag of rocks. He's in defense of Kamala while our sisters are getting put out, cut off, dejected, have been deceived into not believing that their protector, which is a black man, been deceived into believing that black men doesn't care for them. But yet he's in defense for an usurper.
You're going to see something you haven't seen before. Black men are not going to put up with that. But
listen, we're putting up with it. We're putting up with it. And what they said, strong black men that doesn't cry in front of gays and all these others, agree. Because you don't speak for us. See, but he's not really trying to give tips to help the Republicans run and win. See, this is him speaking to us, or the ignorant or dumb of our people who don't even realize that he is a usurper also.
You start insulting black women, you're going to see something you haven't seen before. Black men are not going to put up with that. I want to send a warning, as clear as I can. I was on a phone call with 20,000 black men. The word protect.
He was on the phone with 20,000 black men. Is that possible?
Yeah, I was like, huh?
Is that possible? Hey, elders, he was on the phone with 20,000. 20,000.
I don't know what type of system they got going on.
Before we do anything, real quick, I need you to give me your insight, real quick.
One, I don't know what type of system they have to have. I mean, let alone we deal with some things trying to get on Skype and Blog Talk. Let alone try to get 20,000 people. You understand on the phone, but no, definitely this guy is just playing his role for Massa, to get his paycheck. This whole thing of having Kamala as president. It just sounds like obviously that it's planned. I mean, the daughter of Babylon, wow. But and the other countries, I bet you're just looking at us crazy because, I mean, when I was living over there in the Arab world, men lead and rule things. I mean, they just laughing at us because the reason there was always kings as leaders is because when it comes to war, men go to war. Women, they lead through emotions. So they just get mad and go kill a whole country one day. I mean, it just does not make sense. So, I mean, and it's just on time for that so-called shooting a black woman for boiling a pot of hot water. Just, I mean, you've been saying it, we've been saying it. I mean, everything is just primed for, you understand what's going on right now.
And it's sad that he's leading our black men with emotion on live television. That's a shame.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what the young man has to look up to. I mean, like you said, we grew up with tough-skinned black men who had to, hard workers. Like, hey, if they saw you crying, they like, hey, you better get up out of here with all that. So just to see as soon as this guy came on, he just started crying. It was like, man, what's going on in America? Like, is this the men of war?
Think about internationally how they think that's us.
Right.
Between hip hop. This is how great media has done in Xing out the strong black man image.
It's like
they think we're either hip hop,
right,
thugs, drug dealers, gay, right, gay, or if you are strong, this is as strong as you can become. Right here. A man that would cry in front of a so-called married white man as an anchor. But go on. Say what
I'm just saying, priming these immigrants and these people to think they could just come over here because this is what they have to come over here and take over. I mean, even in my neighborhood, I'm seeing East Indians being voted in for sheriff and things like that. I'm like, man, I've seen Issachar or Hispanics, but I'm like, since when is the Babylonians like all of a sudden just coming in, taking over America? Not as if they hadn't always been here, but all of a sudden they're just getting in these seats and things like this. So it's like, I know a lot of people thinking, I see a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, her father is Jamaican. Just because you live in Jamaica does not mean that you are a Benjamite or Jamaican. And a lot of these people, no different than Obama, they have made up, you understand, their whole person is made up. You know what I mean? So just because they say she's something does not mean that's the case.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you. We went for it. Our sisters went for it under the Black Lives Matter when these women were lesbians married to white women and got triggered into believing in the Democrat Party or the Demonuts last election.
Yes, sir.
Do you think our sisters are going to fall for this again? Honestly.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say right now, they already fell for it. Because I see all on social media right now, they got Camilla, like they already voted for her. They not even seeing what's going on. It's like, there's no more common sense on this earth anymore.
Yeah, we're definitely active on social media, and the sisters are, especially when the shooting happened. I mean, I'm seeing everybody like, I'm with her. Like they're feeling some type of pride, no different than when Obama came in. So they're already there.
Hold on. We lost Lawyer. Lawyer, we lost you. I didn't know we lost you. You there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I lost sound a long time ago, so I tried to come off and come back in, but I didn't want to disturb the midst of the broadcast. But
Okay, so you've been following us, right?
yeah, I'm listening through the actual live stream.
Okay, good. Let me put your sound through so we can hear you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you there, the lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, elder lawyer, just shoot straight. Do you think our sister's going to fall for this again?
That's a good question.
Check. All right. I'm going to bring you in through the roads. All right.
Yes, sir.
One moment. I want them to hear you clearly. One second. Bear with us real quick, sisters and brothers. 1 second. All right. All right, Abdullah, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're 100% better now.
All right. Yes, sir. I can hear you better as well. So whatever you
Okay.
did is perfect.
All praises. All right, elder lawyer, straight up. Straight up, real quick. Let me pull you in here. All right, here we go. So, do you believe, elder lawyer, outright that our sisters? Do you believe they're going to fall for this again? And I got another video that may sway your answer in a moment. But
Yeah.
based on what we've divulged so far, do you think they're going to fall for this Kamala Khan?
It all depends. I think that you showed some examples both on the stream you did a day or two ago, along with the video you showed tonight. I use that as an example to say that I believe that there is maybe a small remnant of sisters who are no longer falling for the same song and dance. My only question is that just a small remnant, or do they represent the majority? Like, do the majority of sisters now see things the way that some of these sisters are now seeing it? And I have a hard time believing that. I'm not quite sure on that as of yet, whether, again, that is just simply a remnant that sees things that way. Again, not falling for the same song and dance, not falling for the same exact narrative, not falling for the same propaganda, or, you know, the majority are more so just going to fall for the same thing over and over again, fall back in line with the same old race card, fall back in line with the same old feminist card, the same feminist propaganda. That I'm not sure yet.
Okay, well, I'll ask you this, elder lawyer. If you were to look at the data, right, in comparison to the past on how destructive the Democrat Party has been for our families.
Mm-hmm.
And how conniving and strategic they were, not only to separate the family, but being able to influence our better half, the black woman. What is the future for our sisters in particular if they don't fall in line with the Most High? And I'm saying this since the Democrats and others are focusing on sisters using Kamala. We're going to speak about them first. What is the future for our sisters if they don't fall in line and find some level of submission?
Well, I think biblically we can see exactly what the end of that will be. The end of that is going to be total destruction. Being in a position in which, obviously, we see where the country is going, we see where the world is going, we see where things are going prophetically, and it's not going to fare well. Scriptures speak about a lot of things happening in this earth, collapse of society. And if sisters continue to play the game, if they continue to fall for the trick, if they continue to fall under the propaganda of not needing to unite with their man, more so uniting with a political party that has actually destroyed their family and kept them separated from their protection, it's not going to fare well at all. You can expect to see more homelessness amongst sisters. You can expect to see more death, more abortions. You know, you can expect to see just hell on earth for our sisters if they continue in this same vein.
And this leans back to the disrespect, right? Right? Because the policies that they've executed within our communities to separate the families, right? Think about this, Elder Lawyer. If there'll be more homelessness, if there'll be more deaths by other races coming in, undermining and attacking and destroying them, less marriages with other people coming in, with now our men who are checking out due to the disrespect will begin to deal with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the disrespect. The disrespect will be when the numbers rise in homelessness, death and destruction for our women in America or in the Western world. I'm going to show you how diabolically genius they are. Who is going to be the blame when numbers of our sisters are cast out, killed, and destroyed? Who is going to be the main reason being publicized on media to why they aren't protected? Who? Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
The black man.
Absolutely.
That's how carefully crafted and calculating they are. So it still comes back around to the disrespect. We get disrespected on the front end with no submission, no respect. Even though they know strong black men exist. But then when it comes to the consequences for such a community, the blame will still fall on us.
Exactly.
And that's the level of disrespect. Because we've never been in a position. Protection comes with submission. I don't see no women out there concerned about some cop doing anything. Yeah.
A Zoom call of 44,000 black women raised $1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours.
Oh, Elder Lawyer, it just came in. Well, you know the Democrats probably fudging numbers because if they put the numbers out there, other black people, black women to get on board, even if those numbers don't exist. But they said 44,000 black women
in 3 hours.
Within the time Kamala Harris was anointed as the candidate for the election.
There's a poster out there saying, I'm one of 44,000. I have it in my phone.
One of 44,000.
Showing their policies and their agenda is straight directed towards it. She says, I am one of
44,000, 144,000.
Yes.
So they saying that's how they work in geometry, using numbers related to us. They said 44,000 black women within 3 hours raised how much money?
1.5 million.
$1.5 million. Now I'm sure there's a lot of people who did put money in like that. But I don't believe that number to be true because I know how they work. But all in all, if they see the numbers out there, Elder Lawyer, then what they're hoping is other black women, you know, it's the pageant or crowd effect joins in. Right? So that money could have been seeded through the DNC with a fake number so that black women can come over and say, well, I'm going to put money in too. I don't trust anything they do.
Right.
But all in all, I don't hear no black woman that's married, that has children, that is operating under the Most High, under submission. I don't hear nothing about, there's no opportunity for a cop to come in and do something to them. Or for someone, I don't hear no woman who has someone with them, a protector, complaining about, you know, what the police are doing. Or what the white man is doing. Or what, you understand? So all in all, they can't put this not protection thing on us, on black men. Because a woman get a protector by what? By submitting to a husband. But indirectly, all of this is going to be on black men. With the numbers are going to shoot up. And that's the disrespect. We're willing to protect, but we have to have what? Order must be in place for us to protect those who really seek to be protected. Or the numbers are going to skyrocket. Right? And you know who's behind this whole thing. You know who's behind. You know it's Amalek behind this whole thing. Gassing up our sisters. Putting them out there as if they're running something just to slight us publicly. Knowing how impressionable our people are when it comes to programming. Especially the women. And now when our sisters end up getting destroyed and messed up out there, it's going to be, there's no black man protector. Elder Lawyer, and I'm going to let y'all say a few things before we open up Zoom. Elder Lawyer, it so happens that we've been having problems with Blog Talk. We've been having problems with Blog Talk for over 2 months now, off and on, after our broadcast not working at all. Well, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
After the bug hit last weekend with Microsoft did something, or they put a bug in the system as they claim, somebody did something, an update didn't work. You know, I tried to log into Blog Talk today and a white screen and an error came up. So we're in a time where they're seeking to take down certain dissenting voices when it comes to communication. And Blog Talk has been for years one of those underground type radio type situations that have been used by the common man and woman. And now all of a sudden after the bug, Blog Talk, it's just gone. Who knows when it will be back? But I think the censorship has begun. The censorship has begun. Now, Elder Lawyer, before I play the next video and open up Zoom, because I have Zoom, I'm going to put Zoom in here. I need you to go to Jeremiah, Elder Lawyer, 31 and 22 for me. Right?
Yes, sir. All right, Jeremiah 31 and 22.
Hold on, Elder Lawyer. I'm still adjusting my system, folks. Work with me, eh? All right, Elder Lawyer. Say something, Elder Lawyer.
All right, shalom. Mic check 1 2.
You're good. Jeremiah 31 and 22. Read that for me.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
It says the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. What is that?
A woman shall compass a man.
A woman, and speaking of Israelites in particular, but the whole earth would turn out of course. It's just natural that if people walk away from the morality of God, the law, statutes, and commandments written of in the Bible, begin to follow the low vibration, Satan and the fallen ones opposed to God. And then God's people fall while the Gentiles' foolishness is paraded throughout the earth, leading to total damnation. Upside down. It's no wonder at the very end that women would eventually begin to overtake positions that belong to men. Not as some celebration of how far they've advanced throughout time. That's how they try to celebrate it. It's really telling of how far society has fallen. So I know they try to look at it as progress, but no. It's really highlighting how backwards the earth has become. Where any man would accept a woman operating in a man's position. That's not progress. That's crazy. And that's the disrespect of men in general. And the Bible said that this is how backwards the world would become, Elder Lawyer. That the world is so upside down, we accept anything. Not realizing that when you see a woman in position to rule over the free world, folks, that's a sign of the times. That's the end. That's the end. Because it's out of order. Can you imagine, Elder Lawyer? Here's an example to show you how ridiculous even the thought of a female president is. Can you imagine Abigail sitting on the throne of David?
Right.
But when you get demonic cucks operating like this is what you get. She's the stoic one. She's the one in power. Right? Over here. And look at this dude. Soon as they roll him out from backstage, they like, listen, you gotta have at least you had 2 unpackaged Kleenex tissue waiting at the desk and you roll out this character. He got snot coming out his nose and everything because of Biden. And look at her. Straight disrespect. And it tell you this, going back to the Bible. I'm going to tell you, Elder Lawyer, real quick. I'm going to tell you. This is what it comes down to. We're going to deal with solution in a moment. Jeremiah 31 and 23 says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Hold on, let me get it here. The Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as yet they shall use this speech in the land of Judah and in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity. The Lord bless thee, O habitation of justice and mountain of holiness. Folks, keep in mind when we see the United States and our people, why do you think they focus on our people while claiming at the same time we're the minority? Everything when it comes politically and otherwise is predicated off of us. Politics were put in place to keep Judah on the bottom, or to control and utilize our spirit without allowing us to leapfrog them. And it come a time where a standard must be set so that our people can actually understand what disrespect looks like. No woman should accept the populace. No woman, no race of woman should accept the populace seeing them above their man. They won't go for that because it's a sign of weakness. The fix is for us to get in order. That's the fix. These are signs, folks. Now, one thing, Elder Lawyer, they're paying attention. One thing they're paying attention to, Elder Lawyer. The black man, Judah, isn't having it no more. They trying to claim because we're not dealing with the demonuts anymore, that our people are Trump supporters, which is a straight lie.
Right.
They trying to hide it under some political agenda that Trump was able to come in and grab us away. It's the Most High waking up Judah and saying, no longer will we be disrespected. Your policies have always undermined and destroyed all of our families. You don't care about black men. You don't care about our sisters. You don't care about our children. So we've been walked away. We walked away a long time ago and have nothing to do with Trump. It's God operating through Judah. And what we're telling our sisters is, you know what? I think you better join us. I think it's time. You don't have to deal with any political affiliation. Get up under a man. We can talk about Democrats, Republicans, anything you want. They've opened the floodgates, no borders of Babylon for a reason. They strategically put them right in our faces for a reason. This is warfare. It have nothing to do with Trump to why black men are saying, you know what? We're not going for it no more. Mm-hmm. Okay. Relationships aren't being dictated from society anymore. We're going to dictate what relationships are, or there'll be none. Right? We had to flip this thing back to the traditional times, where Cinderella and her sisters came to the ball seeking to be picked by the prince. Not the other way around. Not guys like this showing up. Simps. Crying on cue. Right? So now men have to put themselves in position to be the protectors, to have the authority, to work to be respected. And on top of that, the relationship thing, I'm going to tell you, when we're going to that another time, have to be dictated from the male side. On top of being dictated by the male side, total submission, which is an action first before protection. Okay? Because the demonuts have let all the freaks go loose on our people, and they're attacking our women. Whether it be transgenderism, whether it be the other ethnicities who are gay, everything is pressed against our black women with no protection, and our sisters can't even see, is because they really need to say, you know what? Let me find a man who will protect me. Now, we can't fix everything, because why? Some of us are far gone. Men and women. A lot of the men and women are far gone. But this is really, I'm going to tell you folks, I hope the messaging that we're talking about tonight gets through, especially to the young generation who can fix this. Who can at least be that remnant to make it under order. And that's our hopes. That's what we're seeking to teach within the Gathering of Christ Church. Proper order. Right? For those who missed it the other day, Elder Lawyer, I'm going to tell you, this guy worked right here. Every tear this guy shed was probably worth at least $50,000 each. Right after the election, Bezos donates $100 million each to CNN contributor Van Jones and chef Jose Andres, because they were going to lead the charge on the new workforce in the United States. Immigrants will become the new workforce, undermining and destroying what's left of Judah. And this guy got $50 million for finessing our people into believing in the Demonuts. That's why he was crying. Folks, those were tears of joy when he was crying, talking about it matters. He knew that check was in the mail. If Biden didn't win, this guy would have lost out on 50 million big ones. And they rolled him out again. And this man does not represent any black man, no black strong man I've ever known. Anything y'all want to say before we open up Zoom? I'll open it up here.
No.
Huh?
Sir. No, sir.
You good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Elder Lawyer, what say you? Anything?
No, sir. Let's go straight to the Zoom.
Will, Elder Lawyer, will they fall for it again? Well, I said I had one more video. Let's see if our sister's going to fall for it. Kamala is not an American black woman. She's East Indian. That's first and foremost. Let me do a recap. Okay? This is Kamala's family. She's a Babylonian. This is her right here. That's her mama, her Hindu mama with the dot on her head right here. This is her family. This is her father, who's what? Scottish and East Indian, living in Jamaica. This woman is not, she's cosplaying a black woman. So she's not a black woman. Let's make that clear. A matter of fact, in 2016, she ran. California Senator Kamala Harris becomes first Indian, Babylonian, American U.S. Senator. There she go right there. There's no black anywhere when she ran for what? Senator. But conveniently, to trick who they believe are impressionable, easily controlled black women, she switched it up. Our sisters should feel insulted. What we suffered through chattel slavery, what we suffered to get here when her family was dealing with a caste system over in India against dark-skinned people. To only come here and leapfrog you If they were going to be a black woman, you would think would be someone who was a descendant of slaves who slaved here to build this country. They don't even respect our black women enough to give them that. She's East Indian. It ain't what you heard. Okay, East Indians are all over Jamaica. And a matter of fact, a picture says 1,000 words. Okay? Here you go right here. Okay? That's what we got there. That's what you got. That's what you have. Chameleon Harris. Okay? And you know who's really running things? Amalek. They say they asked her years ago, elders. I don't know if you know this. They asked her, "You think about giving reparations to black people and helping black people who built this country?" She says, "I'm not going to do anything for just for black people. No." Quote unquote. When it wasn't for us dying with our own blood to build an opportunity for people like this, you wouldn't even know who she was. It's through our works that we have moved up from dirt roads in India to have any level of status in this world. Disrespect. Not only disrespect is on the black man, it's double disrespect against the daughters of Zion, the black woman who continue to suffer, who they claim to be the backbone of their party, but yet they take care of every other people as Democrats and leave our sisters to suffer being what? The lowest earners in the United States compared to any other demographic. Black women are on the bottom. Now look at that. What's wrong with that? How can you be the backbone where the party wouldn't be anything without you, but yet financially you're suffering under all other groups, including foreigners? But it's Amalek Daddy right here really running things right here. The Amalekite Daddy. There he is. Right? Let's get this thing working, Elder Lawyer. I want to hear what our sisters are saying. But before I do that, I'm going to play this and then I'm going to bring in like two Zooms. I'm going to do that real quick. And then after that, we'll call it a night. I just want to put it out there. Since they're trying to use their same deceptive tactics, I'll be in front of every last deceptive communication they use to deceive our people. Well, then what's the answer, Elder? What, were you Republican? No. Vote Christ. Get under order with the man. Men get in order with the Most High because the whole thing is coming down. The fact that they're trying to put a woman after someone who was cognitively brain dead for 4 years as president will let you know that it's only a matter of time before the country is done altogether. Revelation 17 tells us that what? That all power is going to be taken from Babylon and given back to the 10 horns. This is why Europe and the foreign countries are laughing at America. They're laughing at America. Make her bare or naked, then burn her with fire. It's talking about exposing America politically before destroying her. And that's what this is. Now look at these, whatever. Let's hit play and see what they got to say.
Black Caucus, and Alexis McGill Johnson, president of the Planned Parenthood Federation of America and the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. Both Alexis
They start off with black women, Elder Lawyer. And the first thing they say, they have a black woman who represents Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger, who was a demon from hell, who said we're going to kill those black weeds and use Planned Parenthood to do so. Elder Lawyer, I got to ask you a question. You there?
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. You got to hit me with it. Because I'm starting to believe, I didn't want to go there. But they keep talking about these reproductive rights, abortion. Maybe it's something I'm missing. And this question I have to ask you, Elder Lawyer. Is being able to get rid of your children, is it that important to our women than we think?
Is it more important to our women than we think?
Yeah, because I would think it would be the last thing a woman would think to do with her own baby.
Yeah, realistically, if you think about the list of things that we are facing, in fact, I'm not even going to say we, I'm just saying our women are facing, that would probably be, I don't even think that should even be on the list of things that should be considered. All of the things that we're facing in our communities. I would think that would be the last thing on a sister's mind is the ability or the quote unquote, the right to get rid of her child. But that's just me.
I'm saying, I think we're missing something as men. Like we've been sleeping a long time on certain potentials because we didn't want to think that vile idea that can come up in a person existed. We've always, believe it or not, we've always, I would say, seen our women with a level of serious innocence.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to. I mean, if not, then you would. Where would the dreams be to one day have a family and all these others? So we had to see them at their most innocent, even if that's not who they are, right? But this is what I'm thinking, though. Maybe we've been naive to some degree, and I'm talking about in general. There's a lot of women who wouldn't think of doing things like that. But obviously, Elder Lawyer, if they're making this a hot button topic every election, it might be more important to a lot of women, our women, than we could imagine to have that option. Or they wouldn't roll it out as a political, as a political football to utilize every election. So the question we have to ask our sisters is, be honest. Is that something that our sisters do want the option, even if they're not thinking about doing it? But if they wanted to do it, to have the option to do so is a positive for a lot of them. Or politically, they wouldn't utilize this because what else are, Elder Lawyer? Listen to this. It must mean something to our sisters because they aren't offering anything else. What else they offer our sisters?
Right. Yeah, I think those are perspectives we need to get from the everyday people on the ground to figure out what is that place on the list of all the things that we're facing or that you are facing as a black woman here in America. Where does the ability to delete your child as an option, where does that rank on the list of importance?
Well, for the sisters that watch this, of course, it's non-existent. Thou shalt not murder. They understand what God says, but this was an epiphany for me in the moment.
Right.
When they brought out a black woman who represents Planned Parenthood, something clicked. And I said, you know what? I think this being able to destroy your child is an option that the majority of our women want. Or the Democrats wouldn't be able to use it. Over 20 million of our children have been killed already. When are we going to realize that maybe this is something that a lot of these women that are out there in the workforce and all that and have been taught to think like men, some of them, have it gone to a point where this was one of these secret things they've always, even though they wouldn't put it out there, but to have the option to do so, the policy should be in place just in case. Is it a talking point? Is it something that our sisters think about having an option in worst case scenarios and would rather that policy be there because it's something where they're in control? I control life. I control whether or not to have this baby. And if I have this baby, I can control who takes care of it and how it benefits me. Elder Lawyer, we got to have a program strictly on this.
Right.
Because I believe, because men don't think, I'm talking about not normal, conscience, moral men. Okay? But then, think about it, there's a lot of guys out there who, when it happens, the first thing they ask a girl out there is, well, okay, so what are you going to do with it?
Right.
So it could be equally important to our men out there too. So we're going to have that conversation. But anyway, let me just put this on real quick before we digress.
And Angela attended that organizing call. But Joteka, you organized it. So I'd love to start with you.
Hold on.
I mean,
hold on. Let me see. Can y'all hear this?
first of all, who even knew that 90,000 people could do anything all at the same time on the internet without something crashing? But talk to me how it came together and what it was like to get the number of RSVPs, just the interest that apparently electrified a real part of the American electorate.
Well, there's just two words. It's Kamala Harris, and it was quite historic to be in unity and in coalition with so many Black women and some of our.
By the way, brothers and sisters, this is the woman who's in charge of getting rid of babies, Black babies. Okay? Kamala Harris, that's why they put this Black woman up who's ahead of Planned Parenthood in certain regions. There you go.
Allies that joined that call as well. And that night we had just a powerful moment of unity, unified around one goal, and that was our commitment to seeing and ensuring that Vice President Kamala Harris is the next president of the United States. And it was great to be there with both Alexis and Angela, who have been a part of the Win with Black Women Collective for the last 4 years. So we have been meeting on most Sunday nights for the last 4 years. We came together 4 years ago around our collective outrage against the racism and sexism that we were seeing in the narrative as it related to Vice President Kamala Harris when she was being discussed as a nominee for vice president on the 2020 presidential ticket. And we kept those meetings going. And on Sunday night, we had a standing call because Black women had been organizing. Beautiful letter that Melanie Campbell penned where Black women were speaking very boldly about our support of the Biden-Harris ticket. And when we got the news, we knew that our agenda was going to shift a bit. And we knew that we were going to have increased interest in the call. But my goodness, the fire that was lit, and we had 44,000, I believe, on the actual Zoom, and another 50,000 Black women that were in Clubhouse and on other Zooms, because we all knew that in that moment, one, we wanted to be united. 2, we wanted to be in sisterhood with each other. And 3, we knew we had to get to work. And that was what that call was about. It was about celebrating this historic moment, but it was just as much about getting the work. And that's why you saw the $1.5 million raised led by Star Jones. And you saw, 10,000 women sign up to organize. And this is just caught on. And we're seeing Black men, the powerful call that they had last night, and other allies are
Okay. Number one, that's a lie. Black men aren't behind this at all. That's a Jedi mind trick to have other black men fall in line or follow suit. Black men ain't behind none of this crap. All right, let's make it clear. And those who are like that, you can't trust those men to lead anyway. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like when they talk about the black women and the black men that are possibly involved with this sounds like your sorority boule crowd. To me, I'm not getting the air of this being the everyday black woman, everyday black man. This is that typical sorority boule crowd that really pushes very hard for the Democratic Party.
So it's the gatekeepers.
Exactly.
And you know what? Of course, they're going to go hard in the paint, because if they can't influence or have power over directing the poor black class, then what use are they?
Exactly.
Esau going to throw them out. If they can't control the grassroots black, really the sentiments of which way our people are going, they're useless.
Exactly. Which is why Van Jones, every time you see him on the TV, he has to put on this dramatic show of him having some level of emotion, overwhelming emotion for President Biden. I don't think there's any regular everyday black man in America who looks at Joe Biden as a grandfather that needs to be protected and need to take his keys away. I don't think there's any black man in America outside of Van Jones who thinks that way. But again, they have to do that tap dance, like you just mentioned, to show their value, to show that they have worth, to show that they still have some level of sway over the black community when it comes to politics. Because if they don't, then obviously they become useless. So I think that's what we're getting. Exactly, as someone mentioned, Roland Martin. That crowd, I believe, is the crowd that they're speaking of when they talk about black men and black women who are in support of Kamala Harris.
Oh, Roland. Y'all black people, you're all up in the Kool-Aid and don't know the flavor. I'm like, come on, man. Get him out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
All up in the sauce and don't know it's hot. I'm like, listen, brother, all of that stuff, listen, we ain't going for it no more. You're not going to shame us. None of that. We're finished with it.
Right.
Okay, here it is. We got a Zoom here, right? Let's finish it here. What these witches are talking about, destroying the future of our families, destroying babies.
Following suit and organizing calls, because we are all just excited about Vice President Kamala Harris, not only what she represents, but the incredible record that she has had.
Of course it was a standing call, right? I mean, it's like, guess what? Black women are organizing even when the world is not watching, right? Even when nobody's talking about it, the work goes on, the fight continues. Alexis, I take to heart what Joteka is saying about it wasn't just celebration, it was also marching orders. It sounds like there was kind of, there's a strategy behind all of this, which is not just about protecting Kamala Harris, but also going on the offense in terms of what Donald Trump and his allies may try to do to her in the coming months. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, first of all, we've been clear that Donald Trump is an existential threat to the black community and to all of the rights and freedoms that we.
That Trump is an existential threat to the black community? So what are the Democrats then? I mean, all due respect, I'm not a Republican, but I'm gonna tell you this. You know, Illinois, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or nothing. But do you know more black businesses and all of that, where our people begin to move into the middle class and above, happened under the Trump administration?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yeah. The taxes was good, everything. But all of a sudden, someone said, well, I think these black people are you know, they're moving up near us. And all of a sudden, the world caught a cold. So we know what it feels like to live 4 years under Trump. Okay? It wasn't the end of the world.
Right.
Okay? We're just waiting this out until Christ comes. But you can't tell me that something's going to happen with this boogeyman syndrome when we were just living 4 years under a Trump administration. And in comparison, look at our neighborhoods now. Will they fall for this again? The Zoom is up. Are we going to continue to allow them to straight disrespect black men, and by doing so indirectly sway our sisters emotionally to continue destroying the Judite family? All right. I can only bring in 2 Zooms. I would like to make an announcement. There is a new academy, August 4th, Unfolding the Apocalypse. You want to be there. 3 full months of serious lessons. I'm even going into the diaspora, okay? When it comes down to the expulsion, when the Jews were expelled from Portugal, Spain, Ireland, and all these areas, they were all black people. They were black, just like me. So when they talking about the Jews have been persecuted for thousands of years, that was us. And guess what? I have the documents. I have a whole book from the 1800s that stated exactly where they dropped us off in Africa when our people, the black Jews, the Israelites, refused to bend the knee to the Catholic Church. The Jews of the diaspora, week 3. Go to historytimes.org. All right? And guess what? You get in, I'm going to tell you, there's nothing like it. Hebrew, news like none other, and our lessons, I'm going to tell you, a lot of work and study goes into that. And on top of that, we give you all the sources. The resources, the books, the bibliography, so you can build your own library if need be. Okay? Nothing like this is in the earth. Be a part of this. Go to historytimes.org. To enroll, and I'll bring in 2 Zooms, and then we can break down, because I need to hear out there, brothers and sisters, whether or not, because a lot of you, our sisters and brothers, have your ear to the ground at work or whatever. Do you think our sisters are going to fall for the same Democrat lies again? Do you think so? And if so, let us know. I've placed the Zoom in the link. I'll bring in 2 Zooms, and that will conclude our broadcast. I've started late, I'm sorry, but of course I'll be back this Friday for Patreon early. We're going to do an early Patreon, 12 noon Eastern this coming Friday.
And if I can ask as well, obviously, as we mentioned earlier, we can kind of get a gist of what the people in the truth, what their perspectives are. But for those who call in, if you can give the perspectives of the people that are around you, who are not in the truth, people who are in your family, people on the job, everyday people you're communicating with, what are some of the sentiments you're getting from those people when it comes to what they're seeing? Exactly. It'll pretty much be what we have already discussed, but.
All right, let me try this. All right, say something, young man. Say something. Unmute. Say something, please. Don't worry about it. We'll pick it up Friday. Obviously, when it comes to these communications, maybe I believe the glitch that happened this weekend is probably affecting some of the communication apps, and that will be deep in itself. I couldn't pull up a Blog Talk, and now Zoom is allowing people to come in, even unmuted. Their volume isn't coming through, and I got the settings right. So if it's on my side, I'll check before Friday since I have a new system, but I doubt that's what it was because I'm doing the same thing I've always done for Zoom. So I apologize for the technical issues, but that will leave us something to actually, follow up with this Friday, right? Mm-hmm. We know the political system is set up on who can benefit off of God's people without giving God's people anything.
Right.
At the end of the day, who can come up with the political emotional trigger that would have our people fall spiritually under trusting in the hope of Babylon, right? That's what they do. They get paid. They get paid, folks, in the billions to influence us to stay in this cycle of destruction. Whether they use a shooting, something racial, and everything else. But I'm going to tell you, it's about keeping us under a level of spiritual control. And it's time for us to break free. We're not down with Kamala. We're not down with Trump. We're down with God. But the reason why I'm focusing on destroying this connection our people have had with the Democrats is because our people predominantly, out of all people, vote Democrat. Okay? So I got to focus on the party that have always destroyed us. It's time for us to stand strong. And I'm going to tell you, when it's all said and done, for the remnant, for those who will persevere and make it through, if it be the Most High's will, there will be strong men here to protect you. Okay? It's not going to be a lot of us because it tells us in Isaiah 3, a lot of our men are going to die in this war. And for a lack of men, 7 women are going to travel to try to find a man, even if this man is taking care of other women, to be protected. So don't wait until all that happens. Come under submission now, because guess what? Babylon doesn't have anything for us. Our sisters have been disrespected. The Lion of Judah, the black man, has continually been disrespected in this earth. Okay? And I'm going to tell you this, but they can't stop the lion. The lion is roaring. We're the children of Israel, and without the Democrats or Republicans, without any of their help, the Most High found his children. We're the children of Israel. I'm Elder Rick Carshall of the Gathering Christ Church, and we're back. Shalom, see you Friday. Let's get it. Stay strong, stay prayed up. We will soon see Israel. Thank you, Elder Lawyer, and I'll call you in the morning.
The kingdom and the power and the glory forever and evermore. Are you ready? For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and evermore. God, you reign, you're the most high power. My my source of strength and my strong tower. You are matchless, uncontainable, all-knowing and unchangeable. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, the God of Israel. The Most High is my keeper. The Most High is my shade. The moon shall not smite me, not by night nor the sun by day. He's Alpha, Omega, Holy One, Ancient of Days. I am that